Was the banning of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy by PM Kamla was part of a deceitful plan to have Trinidad as a full-blown military launchpad for the United States of America. You know, Kamla Persad-Bissessar and her ministers continue to insult the intelligence of the Trinidadian people. And I think it has come to a point where the people of Trinidad are beginning to recognize that, and they are speaking up more and more. A lot of them are speaking up more and more. Let's take a listen to the Foreign Minister Sobers on what he said this week when it comes to the joint military exercises that we all now know will be taking place on the island of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Sean Sobers has announced that members of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and members of the United States 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit will be engaging in exercises from November 16th to the 21st. The move, he says, underscores this country's long-standing fruitful partnership with the United States and the U.S. Southern Command, and will see the use of not just the 22nd Military Marine Expedition Unit, but also its helicopters.
The focus of the upcoming exercises would be military-to-military engagements, allowing personnel from both countries to become familiar with each other's equipments, tactics, and techniques. The exercise will challenge the participants, offering them opportunities to expand their expertise and professional development. Training will take place across Trinidad and Tobago in both urban and rural environments, with operations scheduled during dusk and after dark.
He said this strong military presence reflects the government's commitment to making Trinidad and Tobago a zone of peace, a concept he noted this country is yet to witness.
Having been through a crime scourge for the last 2 decades plus, with recording over 600 murders in a year, Trinidad and Tobago has been disproportionately affected by transnational crime for some time. When you juxtapose those statistics to other countries within the Caribbean region, who record sometimes 4 murders for the month and 40-something murders for the year, and they're experiencing a crime wave, you can understand why we are in a totally different category.
Minister Sobers assured that there is no need for panic, as the move will not affect law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, right. No need for panic. Well, while Minister Sobers is reading out the memo of the United States, because that is what it is. It is all what he's saying is dictated by the United States for him to say, because every time they are asked about this military buildup, is this really about the drug trafficking issue? Is this really about narco-terrorism? They always have the same old repetition of answers over and over and over again. Now, while Minister Sobers is doing what the United States is telling him to do, we have PM Kamla, who have banned the use of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and this have come under heavy critic. The Trinidadian people are saying this was all part of the plan in Trinidad becoming a military military launch pad. Yeah, because that is what is going on. Here we have the former minister Marvin Gonzalez, and that is what he said. 2 members of the opposition are raising several questions about the government's announcement of joint training exercises with the United States 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit. Former National Security Minister Marvin Gonzalez said that while the exercises form part of a tradition of cooperation between the U.S. and Trinidad and Tobago in law enforcement, they should be considered against the backdrop of military tension in the region. Gonzalez said the latest developments were not normal and questioned whether the recent announcement that cultural events, including fetes, would not be held at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy was to facilitate the arrival of U.S. troops. That may be the real reason, he said, for the sudden decision to cancel fetes that are normally held at the venue. And of course, I agree with Minister Marvin Gonzalez. This is not a military drill. This exercise is not an ordinary or the usual exercise. Although there might be cooperation, or there is cooperation traditionally between the United States and Trinidad when it comes to things like this, this is all about what is going on with Venezuela. This is about a regime change. A 5-year-old child could understand that. So it really upsets me when these politicians believe that we are fools and they underestimate the intelligence of the people, trying and forcing us to drink the Kool-Aid that this is about narco-terrorism. Oh, there's no need to fear, there's no need to panic. Guys, I'm telling you, this is not a military drill that is taking place in the Caribbean waters, more so specifically what is going on with Trinidad and Tobago with the Defense Force and the US military. Now, I am concerned for the Trinidadian citizens that this will now be a new way of things for them, that their lives, Trinidad has now become a target of war, because of the position that Kamla Persad-Bissessar and her government has taken. Now, I'm going to leave with you guys this video with this Trinidadian citizen questioning the leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar and her government. Is Kamla Persad a dictator? And concerning the ban of the use of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
The question that I ask you this morning, is Kamla Persad-Bissessar a political dictator? Now, you may be asking, how do we define a political dictator? Is one with absolute power. So, would you say that she has absolute power? It is an oppressive rule. It is also a suppression of opposition. A political dictator would lack checks and balances. They also have military control. No or low forms of accountability. All right. After examining the definition of a political dictator, I beg to ask you now, is Kamla Persad-Bissessar a political dictator? Absolute rule, absolute power. Imagine, let us address the issue of the ban for the use of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. They put a ban for promoters that they will not be able to use this facility literally 2 months before the start of carnival events, with no consultation. Kamla Persad-Bissessar said that she will not be meeting with Trinidad and Tobago Promoters Association. She wants no consultation. So she can just do as she wants, which she has been doing for quite some time. Is this the rise of a political dictator? Now let's examine the facts as it relates to the banning of the use of the Brian Lara Cricket Academy for promoters. Now, I don't like inconsistency, and I hate, I loathe, I detest lies. The chairman of the UDICOT, Mr. Bedesi, he said that part of the reason for the banning of the use for promoters is because of the wear and tear and the maintenance. Mr. Bedesi, do not insult the intelligence of Trinidad and Tobago. Do not insult us, because these promoters are under contractual obligation when they rent these facilities. There is also what you call a security deposit. They have part of their contractual obligation is to clean back up the facility and leave it in the same condition that they met it. So they will have to wash down. First of all, they don't use the stadium, but rather the car park of the stadium. They will have to wash down these facilities and make sure that they can get back their security deposit. So that is the first inconsistent remark that you made publicly. The Prime Minister said that the main reason is noise pollution. Allow me to address so many issues that I have at present with this government. Now, my dear Kamla, isn't it so that when we have CPL, that isn't noise pollution as well? So they come with jukeboxes for CPL then. There's no rhythm section and loud music for CPL. CPL seems more like a fete than cricket. Isn't that so? And now Paderak said that they gave the green light to Hyatt Line. So the green light for one and the red light for the other. The light is not on red for all. This government is such a joke.
Don't forget, guys, to comment, share your thoughts, and see you next time in the upcoming videos.